There he goes. Fran Mirabella.
Thank God.
Man of mystery.
All right, now we can talk freely.
Yeah, let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
All right, so then let's talk a little bit about what Nintendo didn't show at E3. So I want to give you guys a quick list of at least the things I'm bringing in there, and maybe it'll sort of ease, because I didn't really prepare you guys for this beforehand.
So announced games or made-up games?
Just games that have been announced or that exist, but that were not shown. So none of the Dragon Quest stuff. Either Dragon Quest VII. Dragon Quest VII is a 3DS remake that has been out for over a year in Japan. We have not heard anything about it. Nintendo could publish that. I don't know if Square wants them to. It's a weird situation, but then again, Bravely Default did really well. Anyway, Dragon Quest X, the MMO, also for Wii U, nowhere to be seen. There was also a Dragon Quest remake, but again, all Dragon Quest, nothing Dragon Quest. Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, nowhere to be seen.
That was a weird one.
About that.
That was a weird one. Like, it's almost like
no
they
update.
didn't want to show it because they showed Project Steam. You know, like.
Well, and someone brought it up during Kone Scene. What's the deal with Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem? He said, "Oh, that game's right on schedule."
Yeah, which is good to hear because, like, that to me, that's one of those games that they announced, and I'm like, that's not really going to happen.
Oh, you didn't think?
Like,
All right,
no,
that's fair.
that. There's this rare breed of games where I'm like, oh, that's cool to see this teaser of a thing that I'm never going to actually play. And I remember when I first saw it, I'm like, yep, that's one of those. But to hear them saying, no, it actually is happening, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And Yoshi's Yarn Yoshi, which is now Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah.
I had the same thought of, so I'm excited to see. I'm wrong.
That's fun to play, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So that one was weird that it didn't show.
Yeah, very weird that it was missing. Then there is no update on what Retro Studios is working on. So if you need a refresher, this is the people who made Metroid Prime, the people who made Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. They have started their next project after Tropical Freeze. No update on what that is. No update on what Next Level Games is currently making for Nintendo. So earlier this year, Next Level Games, the makers of Luigi's Mansion, Punch-Out for the Wii, and Mario Strikers, sort of pledged support. We're working with Nintendo from now on. And so they must be making something. Yeah. No update on what that is. No Nintendo app for iOS, like nowhere in sight. Right, whatever the Nintendo app is.
Well, maybe it's just the Mario Kart support app, that kind of stuff.
I think there's something like a dedicated app they want to try and figure out a way to, and they've talked about it where you're going to use this app to jump back and forth between Nintendo games for whatever reason or rigmarole.
Maybe it works with Amiibo. Yeah.
There you go. Also, no update on what the Mario team is making, which must be a Mario game clearly, but they've started their next game.
And I don't know if this is on your list, but no Galaxy HD remakes, which all of us talked about,
hoping
like
for.
thinking it was going to happen, wanting it. You know,
we tried to will it into
existence,
and they somehow didn't make it.
In addition to that, no HD remakes.
No, of anything.
Like, I was a little surprised by that.
Well, considering Wind Waker was a win, right?
Exactly. Like, going off of that, and like, it was a huge success, and it was awesome. And like, they have so much they can do. Like,
some of it may be storytelling, right? Like, as they plan their show, they may think, we need to show a new product and stuff coming out soon, and we can't dilute the message by saying, here's a bunch of old stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think people are always worried about that. But the biggest cheer at the Microsoft conference was the Halo Master Chief Collection. One of the biggest cheers at the Sony was remastered Grim Fandango. People obviously love classic games, and I don't think if you have a couple of announcements, it distracts or detracts from the message that you have new games as well. So would love to see that kind of stuff. And same thing, Animal Crossing, nothing new on that one. That was my big E3 I was convinced they were going to show Animal Crossing.
Yeah, you were also. Oh no,
well, based on no information, by the way. That was just a guess. Yeah.
Well, yeah, based on one. Wait, I want to bring up two things, but I'm debating which one should I bring up first. Fine. What about this new hardware thing? Remember
it was there. It's called Amiibo.
Is that what you tell people?
I honestly think that's what it's got to be. That was their hardware.
Was
there was obviously nothing. Beyond
I got some emails
that,
about
there was there was a differently colored something again, wasn't there?
What
did we see? Oh no, we saw the GameCube controller thingy.
Yeah.
But that was
Which is amazing. I am so happy with that. Playing Smash with the GameCube controller, I'm just like, oh, this is so right.
Yeah. That's your fight stick, Nintendo. Don't get rid of it. Okay. And no quality of life, but we knew that wasn't going to be there.
No, we didn't think.
We didn't think that was going to be there at all. Anything else kind of stick out in the back of your mind?
Is there anything else missing?
Star Fox. Oh, wait, it was there. I'm so excited about that. I wish it was there in a bigger capacity.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it exists, and again, that's one of those games that I'm worried about. What they showed, I'm like, is this going to be a real game, or are you just playing with my heart?
No.
But
no, Miyamoto said it's a real game. I mean, but he's going to say it's a real game. But they're looking for a development partner to help them make that game, essentially.
That is so weird, though.
Yeah.
We're talking about one of the biggest game publishers. Just to hear something like that, we're looking for a developer to make that game, is so weird.
Yeah.
That means you're showing something that is so early.
It was early. It
Yeah,
was the most basic shapes and geometry I've seen in a demo ever at E3.
Doesn't that scare the crap out of you? That's a demo they used to present to you that this is why the Wii U gamepad is
yes
great?
And no.
Isn't that strange?
Yes and no. It doesn't scare me because I think the Wii U gamepad was in a position where they had to come out firing and show people why it was relevant, and that was a big part of their message at E3 for the most part, right? It was, hey, this thing actually does work to do cool things in games. Let us show you how. But at the same time, it does worry me because we didn't have enough people to kind of make this right now, or we're shuffling between all these projects trying to get everything out the door. That this is just cannot be our priority right now.
It's a reminder, and I really don't mean to sound negative about Nintendo. I love their games. I'm really excited about the stuff that's coming out on Wii U, but it's just like that kind of presentation scares me. That for months and months, people have been talking about, like, will they drop the Wii U gamepad? We have talked about it. Will they make an effort to show what's unique about it? And then you get into E3 and you see these half-baked demos, right? Which all of them great gameplay concepts, the robot demo.
We're talking about Giant Robot and Project Guard.
Yeah. Great concepts, but concepts now? Concepts before the gamepad is out, not now. Now you need the game. So that was a little shocking to me. I was a little disappointed by that.
Yeah, you don't see tech demos this late in a console being
it's so
out.
crazy because with the Wii, the Wii U still doesn't have its Wii Sports. And that's crazy, and it's almost too late for that. But we had Wii Sports, everyone was stoked on it, and then eventually, people were like, I don't want to do this anymore. But with Wii U never even had that.
Yeah.
It was just like, there's this thing.
But sometimes that happens, right? It's like the platform, it made a lot of sense. Remember, it's like years before this machine comes out, you have to make the plans to actually build a machine like this and move into the direction. It's hard to kind of change things once you get going, too. And at the time, before the Wii U came out, it was all about, oh my God, tablets are the next big thing. Everybody wants an additional screen in their house. And so from that perspective, it made sense, right? The gamepad was something new and unique in the world of consoles. And so I feel they probably thought that was enough, having this touch screen and freeing up the screen and putting stuff down there that would usually clutter the screen seemed like enough. Yeah. And then they were probably also hoping on third parties having some good ideas.
But this is so weird to see Nintendo. I don't want to say struggling because I feel that's too negative a word, but in a way struggling to make games for their controllers. That's never been a problem in the history of Nintendo. N64 controller, that wasn't a problem for them. GameCube era, that was not a problem for them. During the early days of the DS, where two screens were all of a sudden the thing you had to program around, they were figuring that out as they went as well. Maybe they were a little slow there too, because people didn't really get DS until Field of Magic, right? Wasn't that the game that everyone was like, oh, I understand this now.
No, but I mean, even then, it wasn't that long.
It didn't
they
take
nailed
this
it.
long.
But there was always that moment where you're like, oh.
Easier to develop, though. Yeah. I mean, that's the core issue with Wii U. It takes a lot longer to turn the ship around or steer in a different direction. With DS, you can make games fairly quickly. That said, I mean, look at some of the indie games and downloadable games on the Wii U. They use the gamepad, right?
Yeah.
They use the gamepad in unique ways.
And I mean, and the thing with the gamepad is I absolutely love it for games for Mario Kart and stuff, and just being able to just play on the gamepad and just just mess around. It's an awesome feature. But it's not something I need a whole console based on, and they've never told me why. Yeah. And I guess it's fine.
They attempted it at E3, but the biggest draws were the games that did not use the gamepad, right?
Well, and that's the other thing. Is they're using Star Fox as here's the tech demo for why this is going to work. And I'm like, no, stop that. Please don't do that. I just want to play Star Fox. Yeah. And that's not good.
I mean, it'll definitely play without the gamepad. Some folks are already expressing concern over, is the gamepad the only way I'm going to play Star Fox? And that doesn't seem to be the case because all the regular controls are mapped to it. Just if you want to get that fine-tuning, sort of aiming precision,
well, it's like the 3DS
you're using the gamepad. Yeah, but not really, because the 3DS one was still tied to targeting and motion were sort of combined together, whereas in this one, they're sort of separated, where you can fly in one direction and fire in the other.
Gotcha.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's something that this game seems to explore more. This game also, they pulled the camera further back so that you're seeing, ships come behind the R-Wing, and you could know, oh, well, I got something on my tail.
Bogey's on my tail.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to sort of wait for the message. And it looks really cool. It almost adds that that Star Wars effect to the dogfights, right? And that's something you want.
Yeah. I like the rear view mirror concept for the gamepad. You know, that you're concentrating on the main action, but in the free roaming levels that you'd be able to see what's going on behind you. Yeah.
And you're right. And apologies to listeners, because there are a lot of indie games on the way that we have not brought up on this podcast. One of them is Shovel Knight, which a lot of people around the office are playing, and they are loving right now. I have not started yet. I'm hopefully starting tonight. But I know Colin's on the review, and the sounds of joy coming from his corner, from his desk, that is a rare thing in the office, I think. So he is super stoked about this game. So definitely look forward to stuff like that. And it seems like for Nintendo, part of this, what will help alleviate the gaps is going to be their indie lineup, and their what's going to help plug the software drought between big Wii U releases. They're hoping it's indie games.
Yeah, I think for people who already have the system, there will be plenty to play, right? Like if you bought the system for Mario Kart, or you're buying it for Zelda and you're fine waiting a while, there's plenty of stuff to play in the interim, from classics that are being re-released or, on the virtual console to these indie games. It's like, but the indie games will not convert a user to buying the machine. So if that's part of your agenda is to have your friends own the machine, so you want to play online Mario Kart, then those games are not going to do it.
In addition to that, too, like if you're just buying it now for Mario Kart or buying it for Smash or for Zelda, going back and playing the games that you weren't sure you needed to buy the system for, but like New Super Mario Bros. U, awesome. Super Mario 3D World, amazing.
Really
like
game.
I would argue that I've had more fun with my Wii U, with Wii U games than I have with my PlayStation 4. With Alfredo's Xbox One that I play all the time. The experiences they give you, Nintendo is the only company that can
I like
do
that you take Alfredo's Xbox away.
Oh yeah, well, he takes my PS4. It's like it's a mutual.
But like Justin Davis just bought himself a Wii U,
That's right?
And he tweeted, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm loving Pikmin, I'm loving Mario." So people who have not picked up the machine now will be able to play Wind Waker and all those games.
Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong, I feel is one of those games that is amazing, and like no one's ever gonna really give it credit because it's like, oh, it's just another platform.
It's another Donkey Kong.
But it's like, no, it's not just another platform.
It's a really good
an
one.
amazing platform.
I agree. No, I agree. Really quickly too, and I brought this up last week, but I'm telling you guys, since we're both talking about older games on Wii U, you both should go back to play Pikmin 3 after that update with touch controls on just the gamepad. So good. So good. I'm trying to play it again to go through it and see if I can sort of get the most out of that control setup.
I love those little updates. Like sometimes smaller content updates like that can really kind of get you to re-experience a game. So I'm definitely going to do that and check out Pikmin. I totally forgot. I just updated Forza on the Xbox because they added the Nürburgring track, right? They released it for free. That kind of stuff is awesome.
Yeah.